Thank you all for joining us. Keep playing the strategy games. Keep pushing the niche of strategy games up to the top of the rankings because we certainly want to do that for years to come. Thank you very much.
Love this company. I hope it sticks around many. This is good games and good ideas, and their community over chasing massive profits. And that's the way that it should be, in my opinion. And even though they're not the most popular games, you know, like your Call of Duty or something like that, this is where the true passion is. These guys love gaming so much, they promote other people's games on their show. If you watch Marco's Hot Seat, he's constantly bringing in developers that have nothing to do with Slitherine. So that I really respect. Let me see if we can get a little breakdown and kind of go over some of this. Okay, so guys, welcome to our breakdown of the Slitherine Next 2025. If you don't know Slitherine, they're a smaller kind of indie company, I would say, with strategy games, still making the strategy turn-based and possible in this day and age. The niche of the niche, and they're proud of it, and they like to do things their own way. For example, this breakdown and showcase they did in the style of Jeopardy, where they were doing these random questions, stuff from Stargate cartoon series down to mainstream movies. So it was chaotic, but it was a lot of fun, and it really just exudes kind of their personality. I've met a lot of these people. They're really good people. These are gamers that care about games and bringing some of the obscure licenses and licenses that the bigger AAA companies would ignore. So that's what I like. They put gaming over profits, and that's the way it should be. Or making good games, and then the profits come. So this year they showed off 15 games. Basically, they're proud of the fact that they've got 15 games. Some of these games came out 4 to 5 years ago, and they are still releasing new content for it. Free content for some of them, DLC for some of them. So to support some of these games for so long, that's why I like Slitherine, and that's why I continue every year to watch their showcases, like a Ubisoft showcase or, you know, a THQ showcase. Some of the bigger people like EA, but I want to give shout outs, and because if you're a fan of strategy like I am, then you already know about them. So on this year's show, these are the games that they announced that they're putting out new stuff for. So Headquarters World War II is a World War II strategy game, kind of tile based. You got to move forward methodically, otherwise the line of sight can surprise you. So scouting is really important. It is a fun game that me and Jay play because we were big fans of World War II. We play the tabletop bolt action historical war game from Warlord, and that's this big announcement. As you can see right here, we're covering it, but this year they've partnered up with my favorite tabletop miniatures game company with my favorite strategy company. So they're bringing bolt action to a video game form, and hopefully that will bring in new fans into the bolt action tabletop games, because we're like old men, old farts. There's some younger guys that are actually into World War II, but in the tournaments and in the scene, we could always use new blood in it. And it looks like they're kind of doing a tabletop style where there's like individual miniatures, but you'll see the little trailer on that we show you later. But first up, you got Headquarters Cold War. They're bringing basically more modern units into the game with helicopters and stuff like that. What's next? Battle plan, Alex. What was battle plan?
That's drawing on the map. Yeah, it's like you're penciling things in, and it almost looks kind of like an auto battler where you're taking a really high level view of, you know, the World War II theater, and you're like, okay, I want the tanks to move over here. This is how I want the troops to move. This is the defenses that I expect. And if you're wrong, your stuff's going to get obliterated. So it's kind of grand strategy-ish. They said it's without economy and stuff, so you don't have to worry about any of that stuff. So there's some people who are really dedicated to this style of game.
It looks intimidating, but they said that you should be able to get into it easier than, say, maybe a grand strategy game. My main concern is that it has a good tutorial. right? Once I'm in this strategy genre, I'm more open to trying out some of the fringes. And that's what's cool about the company is they are niche of a niche, and then they'll produce games that are even niche within a niche. And you'll see some of those here. ICBM Escalation United States of Annihilation. So new content for a game that I was talking about 4 years ago. If you like nuclear fallout and blowing up the entire Earth with nuclear weapons,
you got your own history.
You've got more coming. Same thing with Panzer Corps 2. Again, an overview strategy game. This one's really fun, and there's more content coming. It had a funny name. It was like the Italian Expansion Volume 2, Episode 1, Subsection 3. Now, we made that up, but they're definitely bringing more and more content. Broken Arrow is their big game that came out in 2025. It's a lot of fun. It was a high-profile real-time strategy game everybody was looking forward to. I ran into a lot of bugs, unfortunately, in my tutorial. I'll be really honest. It kind of blew up my hype for it, but there's been patches since, and it's in a much better state than it was, at least when I played it. So I'm planning to return to it, and obviously Slitherine showing how much they support their games is going to continue to support Broken Arrow going into 2026. So I think Broken Arrow is really going to come into its own next year. Stargate Timekeepers. This is a game that already came out on PC, but they announced that it's coming out for consoles. If you like games like Commando and stealth type video games, which me and Joe very bad at it. But Stargate is getting a rebirth. They just announced a new Stargate series, right? So they've got the license, so maybe we can see some new stuff and new Stargate video games. I'm all for, but this one is out now for consoles and coming soon. Then you have Starship Troopers Terran Command. This one is near and dear to my heart because the developers actually changed the video game based on my feedback. I said, I want to rename my units. I want to rename soldiers, people in our chat, and watch them get murdered by the arachnids. And we get murdered a lot. In fact, they have a free update that came out at the end of October called Territory Mode for the game. And this is why I like Slytherin, just like new stuff all the time. So you can fight across planets, capture and hold. The arachnids now have new AI behaviors like defending and retreating and doing all sorts of stuff. And then they showed a roadmap of additional content coming out. I mean, we failed the tutorial 4 times before we finally got the hang of it. But I like hard strategy games. I'm a big fan of that. And speaking of hard strategy games, let me jump right to Terminator Dark Fate Defiance, because this was one of the games that kicked my ass. A lot. I think it was last year, all year. And it was just so addicting. And I put so many hours into it. I think I have 80, 90 hours into the game. It's one of those good bad games. It's like a 5 out of 10 with a badass seal of approval. And honestly, it's not a 5 out of 10. As I've explored it more, I think the rating goes up. But it's just hard initially to get into. If you don't have ATGMs and you don't have the right soldiers when you go up against the machines, you're dead. And it is so difficult, and it makes you want to quit. But I think that's that kind of difficulty and learning curve that makes me addicted to it, but repels mass audiences. So if you like real-time strategy games, they keep bringing DLC, and if the game had sold twice as much, maybe we will see Skynet, because it's the thing I've been asking the producer, because the producer comes to our streams every time we play the game, and I'm like begging him, and so it's like I want to help pay for the license there. But they have new DLC, so the new DLC coming is Evolution. Apparently there's new human resistance units, there's new Terminator units, and this is Legion, not Skynet. I want Skynet eventually, but it's really fun, and they're adding melee combat. Next is let's see, Battle Sector. And Battle Sector, what did they announce? Oh, in 2026, there's so much. There's new factions. So Warhammer has like 26 different armies, different factions. So they're bringing 3. They're bringing the Black Legion at the beginning of the year. Towards the middle, they're bringing the Ultramarines. Then they're hiding what faction is coming next. Maybe Leagues of Votann. Maybe Necron. No, they already have. There's lots of different factions they can choose from because they already have Necrons. But and I recently have been playing the narrative campaign DLC that came out for $15 for Sisters versus Orcs. Great voice acting, really fun missions that are hard as hell, like a puzzle, putting it all together. I've enjoyed it. I think it's worth $15. So Battle Sector has been rising on my, free time games where I play in my free time. Okay, now the reason why I skipped RuneQuest Warlords is because now here's all the new games. So it's weird. This show, most shows, they just do like all the new stuff and then they pepper in all of like the updates to current games. But here, since it was the Jeopardy format, there wasn't like a big hoopla every time a new game came out. It was almost like they were announcing it and they started talking about it and then they revealed the game. So it kind of took it was fun, but it's just a matter of fact. Here are our new games, and I like that. So the new game that's out today is RuneQuest Warlords. And basically the way I'm looking at this is it's a fantasy battle sector with a different license. Yep. So instead of Warhammer 40K, you're getting fantasy units. Like what, Joe? Angels.
There's some angels.
Flying cows. There was
crazy cows.
Cows. There was like snails and
dragon snail. Yes.
And there was these huge dragons and monsters and shit. So I'm down for that. And apparently there's a single player narrative driven story as well. You've got multiplayer. You got skirmish mode. So because I actually am having so much fun in Battle Sector, I will try out RuneQuest Warlords for the fantasy side of it. In Battle Sector, it's a lot of ranged combat, throwing grenades and rockets. So Warlords can cut out its own niche with a lot of close combat and those types of things. So there are 5 new games that they announced on this Slitherine Next is Scramble, Battle of Britain. What's this, Alex?
Dogfighting. It's all dogfighting all the time.
You plan it.
Yeah, and so it's like you're planning how you're flying around. And so if you are old, like me, and you played some of the original dogfighting games in the 1900s, like this looked like some of the ones that I used to play. So people who are
old school gaming.
Yeah, if you are passionate about this, like Slytherine's got you. And so like if you have like a little niche you're into, and so this is big for the dogfighting community.
Yeah. So and then apparently like you cry when your pilots are dying because as you learn along with your pilots, you gain experience for your pilots and you don't want to see them die. And then there's little pieces of planes can rip off and fall off. So it's cool and we're looking forward to it. Radio Commander on this one is the one that's probably not for me. Of all these games, I would play all of these games. Battle Plan and Radio Commander, these are the niche of the niche of the niche within a niche already. But I'm willing to, dip my toe in it. Basically, you receive orders. You're receiving audio information, updates from the battlefield, and you have kind of like a sandbox where you have some units. You can direct your units where you want to go. You can draw on the map. So as you're getting information, we have enemy units in sector D4, or we have contact in D4, and then you can draw on the map, put a little question mark. Are they here? Are they there? I don't really know much more about it than that and how it actually plays and unfolds, but it's not going to be like visual eye candy. You're going to be basically like you're in a military tent and like real fucking simulated combat where you're a military radio operator and you're having to relay information back and forth. So that's kind of intriguing, but definitely set your expectations. Okay, then we had Nightmare Frontier, which was really exciting. Apparently, Marco was thanking one of the streamers that co-streams, that they worked with, because I guess he turned him on to the game. And this is a game that was being developed by some indie devs, and it looks like a Wild West XCOM thing, and it looks cool. But it's like a combination of extraction shooter. You go into this Wild West town, you're shooting these fantasy creatures and
Collecting
nightmare stuff. It looks really cool in the American West, and then you extract and you can use the items that you found in the next mission. So it's like a roguelike almost.
But don't get attached to your character.
And you got to get attached. Don't get attached to your character. Is what they said. And if I changed the developers on Starship Troopers, I'm going to try to throw my weight around here with the Nightmare Frontier guys and let us rename. I don't know if they have it, but I want it. And then we have Bolt Action, which is the biggest one for me because obviously I play this. Look at here are all my miniatures. I have U.S. Let me see. Where to go? I have Russians, Germans, Italians. I even have Polish forces, which are some of my favorites. And then, of course, the U.S. and some Japanese. So me and Jay play the tabletop Bolt Action all the time, and they're bringing it to digital. So no more excuses, no more, oh, it's too expensive, or, oh, I have to assemble and paint. No, you're playing with me.
There's a lot.
So Joe now has no excuse. You're playing with me. And hopefully this brings in new blood into the historical miniatures gaming space. And come and join us at your local game shop. Warlord Games always runs tournaments that you can go to. Adapticon, you can come play with us there. A lot of fun. You can play with me and Jay there. Anyways, so I'm excited about that. It looks like it's faithful adaptation, but not a direct translation, because I have a mixed opinion on this. It's like, I don't want the video game to replace the tabletop, right? You don't want to hurt your tabletop game. And that's why Games Workshop has never done a 40K game that's a direct translation of their rules. It's always been something different, like a Total War or a Battle Sector where it's turn-based and the rules are slightly different. So I think that's what this is, but it has enough, because Bolt Action has this unique system of order dice where you throw all the dice in the bag, you mix it up, and then that's who goes next, the color of dice, whether you're American or German, and then you have different orders on that dice. We're going to have to see, is that in the video game? Is it not a part of the video game? And do they do their own thing? We'll have to figure it out as we go along. But my favorite historical miniatures game company, now working with my favorite strategy video game company. And then finally, Stormbinders. Stormbinders, weird name, reminds me of Trapper Keeper. It's like, what is this name? What does that refer to? Does it make you think of a game that's like Heroes of Might and Magic 3?
Yeah, 3.
It's basically the exact same.
It looks
game.
like a different art style, but Heroes of Might and Magic 3.
Yeah, the art style maybe leaves something to be desired, because I love the pixel art of those games, and I think a lot of purists are about the pixel art. However, the mechanics of those games are so fun. They stand the test of time. Alex was saying in Russia, they still play the game as if it came out yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
There's such a huge community. Alex has played it years and years and years.
I have thousands and thousands of hours.
Thousands of hours into the game. So it's mechanically sound, and Stormbinders is bringing that to the modern age, and Slitherine is producing this new
Yeah, they forgot to put in
version
Gladius here too, though.
Yeah, Gladius is
there.
Gladius is
So
DLC.
there's 16
Rampage
games.
pack.
It's not just 15 games, it's 16 games. And if you remember, Gladius is how I got Joe into strategy games. It's a perfect gateway game for you to get into. So that is the Slitherine Next 2025 showcase in a short form for you. We kind of narrowed it down. It was like 2.5, 3 hours. These are all the upcoming strategy games. My favorites here, just so you know, if you want to go out and buy some, Battle Sector, I would get. Broken Arrow is awesome. These are ones that I'm playing just now. Starship Troopers, Terminator, of course. And then I just got RuneQuest Warlord, so I'll be streaming that and playing that. And I'm looking forward most to, I think, Nightmare Frontier. That's got me at my top hype. And Bolt Action, of course. So Bolt Action and Nightmare Frontier are my big hyped looking forward to for 2026. 2026 is a packed year for Slitherine, and I can't wait to see what they got next and what's coming, and just amazing support from all of these games. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you're well informed on the strategy front and what's coming there, and we will see you on the next Angry Joe Show. Bye, guys.